Dog fans, welcome to another great edition of Hunker Down. He's Jake Skinner. I'm Jeremy York. We're here for Impact Media's weekly dive through the hedges into the world of the UGA football squad. I'm going with squad. Squad's a good word.
Squad
As
up.
always, yeah, before squad goals, we get into all those. Maybe even a squad game could be a maybe the American twist on it. Anyway, before we come up with more dumb things,
Yes.
more interesting ideas. How are you, bud?
Doing good. It's been a easier week, so to speak. Um Been nice
Yeah.
and it's been good. How about yours, man?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It's after a crazy, chaotic week last week. Not in a bad way, just tons going on. And I already said next week is going to be similar because of some things, random life things that are kind of impeding the progress of Impact Media, but not for the worst. Just delaying them by an hour. But yeah, this week is going to be nice. It's laid back. It's a little. I mean, plus after the performance that the guys had on Saturday, I went ahead and told them to take this week off. No reason to even play a game. I told the NCAA where they could stick their opinion. And by the way, I got voted class president at UGA for telling the NCAA that.
I
But
believe that.
I told them I was not eligible, nor did I have any interest in going back to school. But big time win. They had to hang on to it, and I want to put this disclaimer out there because so many people probably made that kid's life hell this week so far. This game did not come down to a couple moments from a kicker.
No.
Both these teams had multiple, count them, multiple on both hands, times they could have put this game away, and neither one of them did.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
why it came down to those kicks at the end, was because neither one of them decided to finish them off.
No, it was a tough week for both teams with regards to like defense because I mean,
Defense,
when
did they
you
were they there that day?
like I don't think either defense was there. Like, you win 44-41 in overtime, and Georgia loves these overtime games a little too much
Yes,
lately. Like, the biggest problem, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it. The biggest problem is that Georgia, I mean, they were after the first quarter, Georgia was down 21-7. I'm watching it going, what's going on? This isn't the team I expected. I mean, obviously the running game, like everything that Georgia did on offense might be one of the best things we've seen. I mean, Gunner was 20, he had what, 70 something percent completion, two touchdowns, 300 yards passing for the first time this year.
what did he run for? It's like
He only
every
ran
fifth
it, he
play
only
I
ran
saw
it
him
for
running for 10
38.
yards.
He's only ran it for 38 yards all told.
Wow.
But because,
It
yeah,
it felt like he ran for 130.
yeah, he was running it. Frazier did the bulk of the running for us on that. Like he did good. Like it's just the way I'm looking at it, like you just that game that was a defensive game. Like the offense as a whole was good, 38 points, like or it should be 44-38 before we got, before overtime. That's enough to
Mm-hmm.
win any game of the week. Like any game,
Sure.
any part of the year, that's good enough. And let's just put it this way, Gunner looked like more like the quarterback that we needed him to. He was making good throws.
Mm-hmm.
There were still some moments that you just sat there and you're like, how could you do that? But that touchdown on fourth down, game on the line to tie the game, you cannot beat that throw. That's a beautiful ball. I
Oh
just
yeah.
I was surprised they picked who they picked to go catch it, but hey, he caught it because he's made some bad plays. The defense,
If you
though,
look, he was open. There was only
oh
he
yeah,
was the most open, and there was one other guy that was a little open, and that was Gunner finding
oh
his
yeah,
open guy.
and I'll give Gunner credit. The offensive line, once again, we'll talk about it, was doing their normal routine on the right side of the line where both our starters were out after that first drive, and he was taking shot after shot back there, and he still was able to stay in the game. So that kid's tough. He's
Yeah.
still no NFL quarterback, but he's tough enough for the SEC. He's built for the old school SEC, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But I mean, they were good, but defense, there's not much good. I mean, you can say like, yeah, CJ Allen may have led us in tackles because they were always out there. We finally got a sack from Chris Cole. Um, did we have yeah, Aguero and Bolden both had picks. I mean, again, you didn't have a bad day defensively as far as individual statistics, but as a whole, you gave up so many yards. I think let's see, where was my
And you
number?
gave up 41 points. I don't care if
41 points,
each
five,
scoring drive was
400.
7 yards. It's like that's
No,
still 41 points.
yeah, you gave up 30 points and then you 496 yards. Um,
Oof.
defense, I mean, offense, I'm sorry, the offense for Tennessee only ran the ball for 125 yards. You can live with that all day, every day. But what you can't
Yeah.
live with is giving up 371 yards. And I got to say it, as a Georgia fan, I like Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator. The shine's wearing off very quickly because last year without Muschamp, he struggled to adjust. This year without Muschamp, he can't adjust. At this point, is he the right call it coordinator long term without Muschamp? Because clearly
Yeah.
Kirby, it's his defense, but is there someone who can take over his defense to run it the way he needs to be done, or does he need someone who knows how to do that fire, that patch, someone who's smarter to make those adjustments?
And look, Tennessee's a good team. Tennessee is a very good team. They match up very well with Georgia. They are, like you said, big time. They are one of the powerhouses in the SEC, and they're only going to get better than they are right now. You got to throw
Sadly,
in
this is
a team
I was
like
going to put this.
Alabama.
This
You
is
got
their
to
worst,
say,
Tennessee's worst team this that Georgia's played in the last 9 years. One of the
yeah,
worst
that's true.
ones, and that's
But
scary that they played that good against us.
I'm going to say Alabama, let's Auburn or Ole Miss. It'll be one or the other, and then Texas are teams like Tennessee that are capable of putting up 41 points on
Oh yeah,
somebody. Alabama may be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe they're in the 35 range, but we're talking 35 plus points, and those are three or four of your remaining like 7 games. So
no, exactly.
you can't. This defense has got to button up some things because you
They do.
can't get in a score fest with those teams and expect to win.
Not every week, especially. So
No.
moving, no, and to dive into that, like Georgia has to improve that offensive side, the offense, the right side of the line, still not healthy. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. Week before you play Bama
Yeah.
at home. That makes me feel better. At least I don't know that Ernest Green's going to make it through the year without going down again. The problem is you got to figure out an offense. You got to figure out a right guard because Gaston needs to be playing tackle because that's his future
Yeah.
spot. You've got to
Yep.
move him there and have Glover, someone, whoever else, man that spot and be comfortable and not be make dumb mistakes to last the game. Um,
Yeah.
just pass rushers like it's because of that interior pressure. Like Georgia just struggled at times, like giving up too many holes. The run blocking, some plays were great, but just just something like Georgia needs to adjust the tempo. Like the offense just felt like they were moving too slow at times. They were being too methodical, and our DBs just got beat. They just got torched. Like you threw what, two or three
Yeah.
out there, and they just kept getting torched. So like they needed a grow up game, but some of that was just dumb plays, mental errors, and Georgia's defense on third down. What we were good a week ago. This time, where is it? I want to say third down efficiency, 5 of 12. You're still not horrible in that on defense, but you'd like to see that be around 20% or less. You don't
Yeah.
want to see it pushing 45% because that means
Right.
every drive, if they get one, they're just about going to get a third down conversion every drive in a critical spot. You can't
Yep.
have that.
No. No, you definitely can't. I mean, at least special teams, they seem to be on it. Didn't really have any hiccups there.
Hmm.
We talked about the offense being like they were. I was very impressed with Gunner. I felt like I don't know if this. The problem is I've seen him so little lately in this. Like you can go back and watch all the high school tape you want, but it doesn't tell you anything about what he is now.
Hmm.
What little bit I've seen, I don't know if he is more the first couple games or if he is this game. What or if that's just the range that we get from here to here. And I kind of want to see which one's going to show up against
Agreed.
Alabama. If this one does, they should cruise. If anything in between happens, it might be a crapshoot.
Exactly. We don't know what's going to happen.
No.
As far as like hitting our first bye week, yeah, it's only 3 weeks in the season, but Georgia's kind of right where I thought they'd be. They looking good, not great, especially breaking in a lot of new players, so we've got some time.
Mhm.
But let's go back up there. Georgia's got to fix things. And I mentioned the tempo. Georgia's got to do something on that defense to respond to offenses going fast against them because they
Yeah.
clearly cannot do it right now. There's
Mm-mm.
too many miscommunications happening, and I don't know who needs to take the reins and fix this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to just automatically, in college, everybody immediately says, "Oh, well, it's the coordinator. Oh, it's the position coach, or oh, it's this guy or that guy." No, in the college environment, I will say it is the entire group.
Hmm.
That is, you can point the DBs and say, "Here's the mistakes you made. Fix them." You can say something about the linebackers. You can say the pass rush wasn't where it should be. You can go anywhere on this and point to things, but instead of being negative about it, look at the things you did do and improve on those, and just stop the mistakes. You should be good.
Exactly. That's very true. uh, it's a thing as you said, the whole defense had their worst game they've seen. Georgia
Yep.
always has a game a year where the defense has like this or the offense does, or they both have a bad game for half and then they come back storming back like they did against Bama
Mm-hmm.
last year. They kind of trend that changes the trend of the season and in a good way usually. This could be what they needed. They needed it before a bye week in a hostile environment, take down an opponent, somehow pull that lucky horseshoe out your nose and win a ball game and go, all right, here's how much we screwed up and how much we suck. Let's fix this. And
Yep.
now they can jump forward. They can learn from this. They got a week and a half to prep for Bama. And I have heard that Georgia has had a Bama period in every practice this year so far. They've been preparing for this game coming up, so they are ready to
I
go.
would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, we used to
And
do it for
like,
Tech back in the day when they ran that old offense, but now it's Alabama specifically this year, and they kind of pick a team or two each week to start focusing on early.
you might want to add it back in for the techies. They're right where I said they were going to be. So they're pretty scary, and definitely by the end of the year they're going to be cooking. So
Agreed.
that game has taken on a whole new new thing there. The Battle of Georgia is actually back on, but we said they have the week off this week, so I have to bring up the obvious. We said they had a great off season because if they did get into any sort of trouble or get to ride in the back of cars with lights on top, we didn't hear about it. So that's you can't win the bye week, but you can sure lose it. And we need everybody to stay healthy.
Hmm.
People that need to get healthy can get healthy here. Study the extra tape. Stay out of the back of cars with lights on top. It's it's real simple. You've done a good job up until this point. Just stay in. Don't go to those extra places.
Agreed. Yeah, Georgia just stay focused. I'm hoping that going into this bye week not being a blowout has the team more focused and more hungry than they were before. Because it sometimes Georgia feels like they just aren't always the hungriest, and I think that's just a sign of the 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 players these days. Not a knock on them, but there's a lot of them that are more me centric, which that is what the pros are. That's
Yeah.
you kind of have to be in a point, but at the same time you have to be willing to take a hit for the team. College football has a lot of these kids with the NIL. It's more about me, me, me. So hopefully these kids are going to lock in and at least understand that you can be focused on what your game is and what you want to be, but you also have got to focus in on what the team's got to do to win the season. It ain't about what you can do right now. Who cares about the stats? Yeah, they look great on paper, but you sucked even though you gave up. You had 3 interceptions this week, which we didn't. Like, but you still sucked because you gave up 4 touchdowns. I
Yep.
don't ever want to see that again. I don't care if you get another pick the rest of your career. Don't let someone score 4 touchdowns against you. Hopefully, these kids can wake up from this
That's what I was going to say. It sometimes it feels like they're not awake, not quite fully awake.
one. Hmm.
And that's not a reference to smelling salts. That's a whole different dumb thing that happened in the NFL this week. But like in a way, you need to, like you said, just stay focused.
Hmm.
Know your potential, and as you said, the NIL has made it where it's a lot more me centric and things like that. But here's the thing that I think most student athletes need to grasp: you can ball out every week, but if your team sucks, if your team is terrible, then they're not winning. They're not going to be on
Hmm.
this thing right here called a television or a streaming device. So ESPN is not going to show your game if your team's terrible. So I don't care if you throw for 75 touchdowns, you got about a 2 second highlight. If you want to be seen on the next level, you want to make it the next level, or you just want to be known as a great college player, you need to help your team do better because the better the team is, the more likely you are on TV. If you're playing in more high profile games on TV, more
Hmm.
eyeballs are on you than if you had a good game by yourself. So really, you need to be the opposite of the just about yourself. The more you're about your team, the more
True.
you're going to be featured on TV.
Exactly. So, was looking at this week's games. It was kind of a quiet week. I'd
It
say,
was.
we had some good games. The Notre Dame Texas A&M game was good. Georgia was
Yep.
good. LSU and Florida, I was expecting more from that game, but I mean, heck, when you got a quarterback that just keeps finding LSU defenders everywhere across the field, it makes for an entertaining game.
If
Um,
LSU is ever looking for like a transfer portal, like 5-star athlete, that Florida quarterback already is so great at throwing to the LSU team that I mean you might as well make him the second or third string.
exactly. Lagway, at least he knows how to throw to LSU players.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I mean, Oregon, Penn State, and Miami are looking really deadly right now. Like Oregon had a little bit rougher time with it, they didn't put up a ton of points, but it's early. But I mean, Miami is looking like a threat if they can keep this up long over the whole season. Penn State's
yeah,
just going to be Penn State.
yeah. I agree with that. And let's get into that real quick because I have an issue with the rankings, even though I could care less that if they rank
Okay.
anybody for the first 2 months. I understand you need to do something because it helps TV and all that.
hmm
They've got Ohio State at one. Ohio State is not the best team in the country. Are they a top five? Sure, I'll give it that. Penn State is not the number two, and they're not number one. If you're going to put anybody, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Georgia is probably number two with either with I would say honestly, in my opinion, LSU so far has showed me that they're probably the top team in the country. I would put UGA next, then Ohio State, Miami, one of those, and then Penn State to round it out. That's I would jumble them up just a little bit. I'm not saying that because we're on a Georgia uh, broadcast here. I'm saying that because from what I've seen, the
Okay.
actual eyeball test, Georgia is number one or number two in the country, with the only argument probably being LSU.
LSU did have a rough week there. Nussmeier did not look good this weekend. It was a struggle bus game for them. But you're
Yeah,
not wrong in the fact that that it could be something to look forward to. With them
and
being as
Miami is lurking.
number one.
Miami is scary
Miami
good again.
Carson, let's just put it this way, it's proving more and more what we've been saying. Carson may not be the best quarterback, but he still looks like a pro quarterback at the end of the day. Yeah,
Sure
he
does.
fits the Miami vibe more than he does Georgia vibe because he's a Lamborghini tattoos and everything else. Georgia fans, you're gonna hate me to say this, but y'all didn't like Carson because he didn't look like one of us from the state of Georgia. He was different, so we all hated him. Well, I didn't. Not until, but like the kid still was a professional his entire time he was here. He didn't badmouth the team. That's the
Well,
big
and keep
that's
in
a
mind,
whole gripe
Carson.
we've had before about a lot of this stuff. As Georgia
Yeah.
fans, we want the Gunner Stockton to be the quarterback because he's from Georgia. He knows Georgia. Again, I'll make it every week till the dogs come home. I'm tired of that narrative. It's time to go get the quarterback, go get the player. Who cares? I don't care if Deion Sanders was that good of a quarterback and he showed up in the building, they'd hate him. No matter, even if he sat there and prayed in front on the 50-yard line, they'd still hate him.
Yep.
If he, I said Dion just because flashy. That's what I'm thinking about prime time. They'd
Yeah.
hate someone, but then all of a sudden you get some guy show up in an F-150 drinking beer, said I'm ready to throw a football, and he looks like he's on a 3-day shave. Hey, let's start him at quarterback. He's our new favorite guy because he's like me. We
It's
can't be
true.
that way. But that's what happened with Georgia. That's why we end up with quarterbacks. We have a stigma about us.
Oh,
But
and look,
I'm getting
it's
derailed over
nothing.
here. But still,
I'm about to say it's nothing against the kid that I'm going to mention because he is a local uh, uh, star, but he's going elsewhere. He's a different style player. He wouldn't have fit what Georgia tries to do anyway. But Juju Lewis or whatever from Carrollton, he's a homegrown. He's a different style that you've never seen here in Georgia. But there's a lot of reasons that they didn't fully recruit him. He kind
uh,
of unrecruited himself, and I will say that
he
a little bit
but
too. But
I'll say him and certain relatives unrecruited themselves from this one because
correct,
Georgia did want him. They wanted
yeah,
him to come in and earn the job, but
yeah,
someone else had different ideas and bigger ideas, so that Georgia said, okay. So did about three other schools because they all went,
yeah.
we're good.
And I say by the end of the year he's going to start at least 3 games. But
That's if he's lucky with that third
yeah,
stringer. But moving on,
yeah,
so this week I got a question for you.
hmm
We've talked about it, but is Georgia's defensive struggle against Tennessee a one-off wake-up call, or is it a sign that this year's defense isn't the same we've seen in recent seasons and changes need to be made quickly, like coaching changes?
I don't think there's a reason to panic yet. I
hmm
do think at least given I mean obviously this is the best team you've played all year. It might be the best team you play all season. We don't know yet. But this is the best true competition you've had. The other ones obviously were tune up. but I don't think it's a panic mode yet. There were still some good things in there. It wasn't a total loss.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it's that wake up call that you're going to see the guy on the other side of you is going to be talented too, and he's going to be
Hmm.
trying to win the game too. And when you get on equal playing field with equal talented people, you got to up your game a little bit.
Agreed. And Georgia's defense needs to grow up, man up, and it's a saying on the board that I'm on is I hope the fans don't get mad. Put your nuts on the table and go. You just do it and go. Like, come on, you got to man up. So I agree with you. I think they're gonna have to. They got to grow up and they got to handle it. I don't think. I think it's a wake up call, and if it doesn't change, then Schumann, like I said earlier, needs to either be put back into his position and recruit and coach. I don't think he's ready for a head coaching job because he can't even get his defense ready to go. Like he
Right.
may just be a career coach like that, like Muschamp. Which, if you're gonna do it, at least be that good at what you do. Um, but moving on, we don't have a lot of big games this week. We got a bye week. Everyone else seems like they're on a bye week. Seems like it was a slow one. Um, Kind of
See the
found a
games you
couple
picked.
of.
Interesting.
I got, yeah, I know. I got four, and I picked one of them because it looks like it could be
One,
fun.
two. Oh,
But
I was like, I only count three. I see it now.
yeah, three SEC, one that's still SEC, but whatever. But 22 Auburn against the number 11 Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's a big test for uh not only Oklahoma. They got the big win over my Wolverines. Uh, you you won that one. Got nothing against them for that. But Auburn is that sneaky team in the SEC. They're what Tennessee was last year,
Told you that lucky
where
horseshoe.
it could be. But it seems like to me, Auburn is that team that while they may not be playing for an SEC championship at the end of the year, they're going to be right there in the hunt, and they're gonna ruin some people's seasons. So,
They
man,
always do.
I'd love
Yeah,
to call Auburn on the upset, but I just think Oklahoma's just about this much better than them, and they're gonna hang on to it because
I
they know how
agree.
to actually kill a clock if they have to.
They do, and they've got John Mateer, who's one of the better quarterbacks out there this year. So I definitely think
Yeah,
Oklahoma goes with it. And your the club you used to cover, the
one
Panthers
of
of
them.
Georgia State. They're playing Vanderbilt at Vandy this week. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
take Vandy because Vandy, they're not bad. They're not great, but they ain't bad.
yeah. Didn't Georgia State had a big win last week or something? What is God?
They're
There was
3 and
something.
0 right now. Vanderbilt beat South Carolina 31-7.
Ooh, what is Georgia State is 1-2, but who do they face? They have faced Ole Miss, good team,
Hmm.
Memphis, and Murray State. So their win is against Murray State. Okay.
Oof.
Yep, Georgia State, you're not there yet, and you know that. Vanderbilt woke up and realized that they can be a football school about a year ago, and
Hmm.
I'm not going to say Vanderbilt's going to cruise, but I don't think they're going to be that uncomfortable a majority of the day. But never discount the Panthers. They have beat Tennessee. They have beat other people that looked at them the same way and said, I'm not worried about them this week. So
Yeah,
different leadership. I do not know this coach at all. I don't think
he was Georgia's
no.
running back coach
I mean,
until
I
two
know who
years
he
ago.
is, but
Yep,
I
you've
was
not met with
I
him.
was on my way out as he was on his way in. So
Fair
I
enough.
I don't know enough about him to say a whole lot. I know he's
I
changed a
think
lot of
he's going
stuff
to
in the
be
program for
eventually,
the
if not
better.
here, somewhere. He's a heck of a recruiter and he knows how to
Sure.
coach. So
But
he
as far
will
as this
handle it.
week, no, Vanderbilt.
No. South Carolina, uh, with potentially without Lenore Sellers as their quarterback, which means I think they have Luke Doty back again. Takes on Missouri, and that quarterback Bo Pribula, he looks legit for Missouri. He already has almost thrown for 800 yards in 3 games.
Yeah. Um, I don't know who you got in this one, but give me the Gamecocks because shout out to Coach Sean Elliott with the Gamecocks who left his position at Georgia State as the head coach to go back home and be closer to family. And I will always commend the effort of that. And Sean Elliott I got to know him good enough to
Yeah,
where I would probably run through a wall for him myself. And
fair
all I did
enough.
was cover him for a couple years. But he's back with the Gamecocks in the last couple years. So I will take South Carolina to get the mini upset on Missouri.
I got you. Missouri hasn't faced anyone yet that
No,
pushes them, but they've got the offense. I'm going to take Missouri just because you're taking South Carolina on this one because we kind of agreed on the last two.
yeah,
Also, Missouri just they look like they could be that team this year that makes a little bit of noise without their squeaky wheel and everyone else's while still being a top 20 team.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see that. Just checking the old time. They were still doing
Yep.
good.
And
So
yeah, we're getting close. So
national game of the week, right?
I picked this one just because this is the late game. I think that's kind of usually our game we're going to pick, just whichever one,
Yeah,
the main crew handles. Uh, Florida takes on Miami, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Florida is a hot mess. Billy's on his way out the door, and Miami's about to curb stomp them. I'm betting Georgia's former starting quarterback goes for about 400 in this game.
yeah. And that's the thing I was going to say earlier. Carson, keep this in mind. The better your year goes, your options are going to be between Dallas, Cleveland, and Las Vegas. So good for you. You strike me more as a Vegas quarterback than the other two, but everybody looks better with a star on the side of their helmet. But that's a side project to itself. But yeah, Miami, man, they're the playground bullies this year, and they're gonna muscle some people around. They're
Mhm.
gonna potentially be in the playoff in the end of the year, and they're gonna prove that they're the best team in Florida, with South Florida being number two.
Agreed. I like that one. So, but hey, that's been our podcast. This one
Yeah.
flew by today. I won't lie, I'm half asleep
It,
already, and it flew by.
well, I mean, bye weeks do that. It's time to catch up on your rest. It's time to figure out how to be the best.
It's
And I'm
also
gonna
time
try.
to do some little tweaking and rebranding.
It could be. It definitely could be that type of week. But we've reached the end of the show, as Jake just said. So thanks for tuning in to another great edition of Hunker Down. You said something about a diamond as far as naming this one.
Yeah, I said "Shine on you, crazy diamond?" question mark
Hmm.
in reference to Georgia. Gary Ben, my dad will laugh at that one, but it's in reference to what I said earlier. Is the shine wearing off a little bit on Glenn Schumann's defense and mostly his coaching?
UGA, I'll tell you, you guys should just shine bright like a diamond. That's exactly what you should do. And it
Be
would also
yourselves,
be
have fun.
nice if we could mine a diamond, but we can't, and we're out of time. So for Jake, I'm Jeremy. This has been Hunker Down. We will see you guys next week. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.